Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. So, this is another session of Tuesdays with Tricky. However, we start Tuesdays with Tricky actually at the half hour mark. So, before that, it's mostly chatting about VF and, ask me anything. But, yeah, we're going to hang out a bit, maybe play a little bit, but mostly we'll be chatting for about half an hour. I'll probably be running the VFTV a little bit while we do that. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? How's everyone's Tuesday going? We're getting closer and closer to the holidays, so I've been seeing more and more people doing holiday stuff. But in the fighting game community here in the Northwest, quite a few of us are getting ready for a bonus round this weekend. Bonus round is a really cool event held especially by Tekken and Soul Calibur players, but they've got a big 80-person Street Fighter 6 tournament going on. Guilty Gear, Strive doing really well. On the side tournament, they got Plus R, and it's getting pretty busy in that bracket. It's going to be a pretty good event, so it's going to be just really a good time, though. Some of the family guys in the scene will be a bit busy. Hey, David Blaine, good to see you. Always really good to see you. Thank you so much for all the support, always. Hope you're doing very well. Yeah, but yeah, we're excited for that, and again, we talked a little bit about it on Sunday, but Global Showdown was pretty awesome. Like not a lot of people that intended to go to Global Showdown couldn't make it, but just kind of challenges with the times, with the timing, and there were some challenges with us also organizing and running the event for a bit. So some of the information wasn't getting out there as much, so it made it a little harder. But you had a real amazing representation from the Japanese. They came out in amazing force with the roster was insane with Ton-chan, Shiwapon, Homestay Akira, Jin Kage. And then you also had Tetsuko Yamada and Himajan, but Himajan was representing North America since Himajan's been living in Toronto for quite a while for both university and now for work. So that's been cool. And that was wonderful to have Himajan represent us since North America did want to go, but again, things didn't work out so well. There was a lot of challenges on the way to that. But really appreciate everyone's effort, and it looks like for those that got to go to Global Showdown, it looked like they had a real amazing time. Lots of great posts from the event about it. So Shiwapon did win the whole thing. I think it was a huge deal for Shiwapon. Shiwapon was able to get a real big official win on Ton-chan, which is a huge goal of theirs. I know that they had an insanely amazing match at Evo Japan. Hey, Blurring, how you doing? How are you doing today? Blurring, would you like me to show you a few things, or... Oh, getting off work? Awesome. So you're still at work, but I'll show you some stuff. Kind of cool. We got a Vanessa versus Leon match here. Let's see what they do, right? It's offense stance. Yeah, low punch when someone's gonna do a slow sweep like that. Always good with the 9P. Very good damage. Really good use of strings, keeping Leon from trying to attack in there. Leon does like to... Well, my Leon likes to be very aggressive. Leon's a very utility character. Callouts. Oh man, this is rough. This is a ring out. Yep. And that could be very dangerous to do, but this position is good for the ring out. That was pretty perfect. Really nice you start with the punch. And if I'm not mistaken, that offense stance punch, I think, is it's a high mid, which alone is really powerful. It can really punish somebody that likes, like me, that likes to low punch under strings. Really good performance by Vanessa. Those 9Ps were on point. But yeah, some of the things that I wanted to show, then let's go into a training mode. So I've been talking to Blurring. Blurring is a very strong player. And we're talking about situation by situation. Something that I feel about when I fight Blurring is that I think Blurring has really strong sense of what they should do. Like in this situation, I like to do this. In that situation, I like to do that. And I don't think it's even that they're thinking about the situation. I think they're going for the read. And that's really powerful. That's a really good skill. They're like, if Chanchai does this, I'm going to do this, right? And, you know, something like this, right? And so I have been emphasizing more the general situation to them. So let's say Vanessa, and we'll start with the very basic situation first. So we're not covering all of Vanessa's stuff. We're not going through my whole lecture. Everything there, and I'm not the best Vanessa player either. I'm not that great, but just something. But I will give a basic situation. So Vanessa's 9P on block is a +2, right? It's is it? Yeah. So this is like +2, right? I need to move my camera 1 second here. All right, good. We want to do this because I want to. You want to see this +2 here, right? So it's +2. Normally with the +2, the thing is moves like this, including 9P, they recover really fast. Their stun is really low. So what that means is like both characters have to input their next option really fast. And so normally you would do something like you'd have to do something +14 or faster, and against Leon maybe even like 13 frames and faster, right? Because Leon has an 11 frame jab. So we got low punch is one of those, high punch is one of those. That's why normally you'll see this sequence with Vanessa, right? This, which is risky, at risk of losing to low punch, but more often than not like this, right? Let's see, 16, 14. So this is 14 frames, right? This is a normal elbow. And yeah, let me see here. On top of that, not only is it normal elbow, if Leon is crouching, let's see this. This is guaranteed, right? I don't know how hit checkable this is, but even that delayable, huh? Okay. I'd have to check it in reverse. I'm not sure how guaranteed that is, but it looks guaranteed there. There's that too. So she's got stuff like elbow kick, right? But at +2 though, there is a problem though. Leon can actually low punch back. So like at +2, Leon can do a high punch. But you want to test them anyways. So you do 9 punch, and if they blocked it, you want it to do this. For almost everybody, there's 4 characters that have an 11 frame jab. And so the only thing that you're worried about is that they use their 11 frame jab. But I would say test them. I would say just challenge them anyways and do this into this. But if you really don't like it, most Vanessas will just do this, right? This gets blocked, they'll do a low punch. So, so most of the time, you know, something like this is like your pattern. Okay, against me, this is actually what Blurring should do. Blurring should do 9P in the throw. And the reason is because I'm almost always doing ECD after this, right? I'm almost always doing ECD. I'm going to reverse the characters and show this. But there's more guessing games to it. There's more than that. But let's start with the basic guessing game is do the low punch, and then if they evade, do the throw, right? And with the low punch, if you can get a counter hit, then do something good with it. And this is a long-term skill to build, is to be able to see if you're going to get a counter hit, a normal hit, or a block. It's harder to hit confirm. Technically, it can be almost impossible to actually hit confirm. So you do need to do what we call situation checking. Situation checking is that you're going to estimate how it's going to work based on what you see the animation be. So, and usually you can see if somebody low punches. And that's one of the first things you're looking for. You're like, if I see a low punch, I'm going to do the counter hit option. Alright, so we're going to do... so here's the problem is this. Oops, my bad. I'm being dumb here. Okay. So normally I do ECD and I'll show you the results of that. So normally I'm doing this, right? And that is not really what you want, right? Right? And normally I end up hitting him or throwing him after that. But normally this would lose, right? This is what would happen to a lot of people. If I did low punch, the elbow would win, right? But let me see this. Let's start using. Okay, so now the normal thing is this. Normally, low punch would lose to this. Leon is an exception because of his high frame jab that he can do this, right? Right, and this leads to Nitaku. So this Nitaku is this, right? I get a counter hit with high jab. I can do a throw or mid, right? And if Vanessa guesses wrong on her proactive response to that, she could really be suffering, right? If she's gonna block, I'm gonna throw her. If she evades, throwing would win. But if she attacks, launcher would win, right? Right? It'd be like this jab would get me Nitaku. So you got to be careful for that. But if you do, but you can still respond to it. The jab itself is not going to do as much damage, right? So you can still defend after that. You just got to be ready for it. But this is, so that's why. But like low punch would lose because it's 12 frames. But this is Leon. 4 characters have an 11 frame jab, and Vanessa has like a really fat, like 11 frame like uppercut, like a 10 frame uppercut. And Sarah has like a 11 frame like back punch, but that's really hard to do in this situation. But normally I do this, and again, normally this is the result you would get if you did 6P instead of, but 2P is really good, right? So we go back to 2P. This is the 2P option. Then I can't win this 2P, right? Even if I do high jab, I'm gonna lose. So this is like your foolproof option. And you need to be flexible with yourself about it. You shouldn't always do low jab because, you know, eventually someone does something like this, you know. But then you also have, again, this is what you should do against me. You should do that because my evade is not going to work, right? And then if I guess throw, if I guess wrong, it sucks for me, right? But the thing that you're afraid of is this. If you do the throw option, but you know, like that's kind of when you get into the realm of guesses, and you should be getting into the realms of guesses. Okay, right? So evade ECD is always going to be suffering here. Now, what the opponent should do is this. The opponent should do is 2G 5G. This is what the opponent should do. Right? And let's show you what that looks like on my command display here. Sorry. So this is what the opponent should do. Not only should they do that, they should be doing this. Right? So if they do that, what Vanessa should do then? Vanessa should do like this into crouch dash throw is one way to do it, right? So you go like this into a delay throw. And you can do delay throw by waiting, but you can also do delay throw by doing a crouch dash and then do a throw. That would beat Fuzzy Guard. But you want to only do Fuzzy Guard when you see Fuzzy Guard. You only want to beat Fuzzy Guard. But you can do that into like into this, into lows. You can go right immediately to a low to defeat a rising attack, or I mean a Fuzzy Guard. But I'm not sure. Aside from that, you can do something like you can do delay throw is probably a really powerful one. If I'm being honest, against someone that Fuzzy Guard's delay throw is really powerful. If Vanessa's in defense stance, which is not the case after 9P, so defensive stance, Vanessa can do like when she sees somebody doing Fuzzy Guard in certain situations, she can do like low throws after setting up if she knows that the opponent does it. Like opponent will probably Fuzzy Guard if you do this. So if you do this at the higher levels, tackle is really good. So tackle we categorize as a catch throw. Catch throw is a really good option to do in Fuzzy Guard situations. But when you start, and you are fighting more and more people that Fuzzy Guard now, so if you really want to bait Fuzzy Guard, actually, number one, they'll do it when they elbow. Number two, when you PK punish them. No matter which character you are, if you do this, there are certain players like me who might Fuzzy Guard. But they're usually the stronger players that are doing this. So you want to use that as like a bait. If you can predict that they're always going to do the Fuzzy Guard there, and sometimes they're just doing it initially until you change it up. But but a lot of times after you get PK punished, they'll do this, right? And eventually that can lead to, when you get good at there's good use of Fuzzy Guard. There's also good ways to kind of bait it, But right now we're not in that realm. We're talking about just the basic +2 situation. So what do we know about the +2 situation? +2 generally is good idea to do an elbow, almost for sure. However, 4 characters, Leon, Pi, Kage, and Eileen, they have 11 frame jabs. This 11 frame jab really does mess with that +2. But that said, you should still kind of, until they actually like jab and Nitaku you, then you should, I recommend just still doing it because it's information and it's for you to understand if that's what they do, if they're targeting that. Because you can punish that. You can backdash, if you know that they're going to go for this, you can kind of backdash hit. You can do, if you're Vanessa, you could actually crouch dash and do this, like duck under it and then hit them. You can do quite a few things. But you kind of want to see if they do it first. BF is a game that you want to be very fluid, and you want to learn different options you can do in the situations. So those different options we set at +2. Elbow's good. Low punch is generally very good until they try to crush it. And then watch to see if they Fuzzy Guard. Now, if they happen to Fuzzy Guard, it opens up a lot of options. But generally, the +2 you can do elbow, low punch, throw. Those 3 are all good. But it depends. But you got to build the read. So you start with elbow, because elbow is not going to get you in trouble as much. Low punch is after elbow. Low punch is quite good, and then throwing very good, right? Then if they Fuzzy Guard, now there's a whole new world of options. Because if they Fuzzy Guard, they're beating your throw, and they're beating your elbow. They're beating your low punch. So now you do crouch dash in the throw. Now you do low attacks. You do guard breaks. You do a lot of stuff that works against Fuzzy Guard. Now, when people do Fuzzy Guard, they actually have a mix-up. Once they Fuzzy Guard, they can mix up with ECD. I tend to start with ECD because ECD is actually beating a lot of your stuff except throw. Right? And I can do a throw escape from the ECD if I sense a throw, but it's really hard to do that. Throwing generally is just generally going to win against ECD. So get used to seeing people doing this weird animation, because that's an ECD. And it's something that you see I do all the time, and especially when I fight Tricky, I do it a lot. Vanessa, I actually do quite a bit because I like going under her highs and hitting her, and then mixing up from what I get after that. So that's kind of the +2 situation, and I set up the +2 situation with this, because high jab when blocked is +2. This is +2. So I get to play that. Everybody plays the same game with PG. So punch, guard cancel. You have to guard cancel because if you wait to do it, right? If I do it fast, I get a string. That's not gonna work. So I have to wait and do it. That doesn't get me the full frame advantage. Punch, guard cancel, and the elbow, right? And punch guard cancel is just so good. It's such a good move for every single character in the game. And everyone's frame stats on jab is the same. Their frame stats on jab is +2 on block, normal hit is +5, and counter hit is +8. And so if you get a counter hit, you get a free throw. You can mix up a big mid and a throw. Whereas like low punch is 1 frame below that, right? This one is -5 on block. Low punch is -5 on block. It's +4 on normal hit and +7 on counter hit, which gets me like, it's good for an uppercut, but probably not good for some characters' bigger launcher. With Leon, doesn't really matter. Leon's a character where his normal hit launcher are all way slow. They're at like 20 frames and they're like 19 frames and above, or unless you're counting this, right? This is 19. It's like 19 as well. So he's just a little slower because other characters have like a 17 frame like normal hit launcher. So, you know, 2 frames might sound like so little, but it's a lot in this game, especially because of these situations. But you want to get to know this +2 situation. And this +2 situation is important, especially when you fight Kage. When you deal with Vanessa's 9P from offense stance. And, of course, everyone's jab, you know. But Kage plays this because he does his overhead kick. And his overhead kick sets up a +1. +1's a little harder to do, but he gets away with murder because people respond to it slow. But the fact is they need to respond to it very quickly. And Pi has a lot of ways of setting up, like, +2. So that's the lecture. And yes, just like Nala said, tackle is really good. Catch throws are really, really good. Catch throws are good against people that like to defend and some people that like to wait and attack. So if people are like playing reactive, the irony is this. When people are in a faster mode, they might play more reactive. But when they're playing reactive, they might be throwing away frames so that they can punish things that they see, right? That means that they're actually playing slower. If you buffer, technically that's the fastest way to play. But buffering is something that you tend to do more when you're not playing as fast as the other guy. So you're relying on the input buffer. But you should play it really fast. I'm playing it really fast when I'm doing this jab game, right? Like this into a crouch dash, right? -5 crouch dash is a fuzzy guard. Now technically, this is actually a fuzzy guard because of how long it takes to get into standing from there. So when you do low punch and it gets blocked and you stand up, if they threw right away with no delay, the throw would actually whiff. But as a good practice, I still do a crouch dash, just as a matter of good practice. But it does give away that I'm doing fuzzy guard. But you can actually do fuzzy guard from low punch by doing standing guard. But some people are late. So when you get into the realm of like fuzzy guard, though, you do have to feel if the opponent is buffering or if they're delaying. And sometimes they're not intentionally delaying. But it doesn't matter whether they intended to or not. You're just trying to assess if that's what they're actually doing, you know. So you're like, oh, this person is not buffering and they're delaying, and that matters because if they're delaying, I shouldn't do ECDE, or if I do it, I should delay it, you know. So it gets pretty hectic, but again, that's just a +2 situation in a nutshell. We'll later talk about the other situations, but I think it's enough to work on Wednesday. It's just this +2, right? And you can set it up like this, right? This actually, a lot of people don't do jab, block, in the throw, and yet they should, because a lot of times the opponent is not doing a fuzzy guard. A lot of times the opponent is, but because this thing stuffs a lot of people. But once they start respecting it, you should just do this. And then when you see that they're actually fuzzy guarding, then you can change the option. So +2 is a really fun situation to mess with, and to watch what your opponent does. And you won't see much fuzzy guard until you're fighting like the strongest players in the country. But you will face a lot of Abari, you will face a lot of defensiveness, and you should throw the defensiveness. So yeah. But Paul is doing this a lot. It's like boom, 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 hit check his elbow, boom, boom, boom. And remember that, you know, Akira, his dashing elbow, regular one, is just a super normal elbow. And then his super dashing elbow is, well, it's literally, it's a better dashing elbow. So that's like what to understand about Akira. Is very scary because of when he uses those tools more. But mostly you're going to deal with that with Rod Nuts, Black General, Kung Fu Smurf, and Paul, nowadays Paul. Right? Paul used to use a lot of the other tools, but now he's using dashing elbow like a fiend. But he also mixes it with throw. He mixes it with guard break especially. It's like this, you know, jab, guard break. That's kind of what Paul likes to do, jab and the guard break, but only after he's done this enough times and seen that you're actually blocking. So, and then the thing is guard break is really good against people that do fuzzy guard too. So it's just generally, he's like, oh, they're defensive, guard break, you know, so. Anyways, hope this helps. Nobody asked any questions, but I decided to offer that because that was a topic that I was covering. But I think blurring has got the full picture there. But that situation evolves into a lot more. The -2 situation is also so cool, right? As a Vanessa player too. As an Aoi player, it's pretty awesome, and there's ways to purposely throw yourself into the minus situation. Just so you can do Sabaki Punch, you know, or something like that. It's really good stuff. Yeah, thank you very much, Lightwing Dragon. Again, Lightwing Dragon, always really good to see you. Hope you're doing really good. It's too bad you couldn't go to Global Showdown, but at the same time, but I'm glad that you're active with VF. That's all. That's the thing that matters the most. So yeah. Okay, Skidits. Question: can you put this up on YouTube, please? Yeah. I do. I think I really do want to set up some. I'll try to make some videos that cover it, and I might, you know, I use this as a practice for that. But yeah, I'll try to make it as a more concise version to put on YouTube. It isn't my intention to do that. It's my intention to go over beginner situations, right? And a lot of people here have seen them, but it's always good to make a real video that just shows it. Like when you're starting VF, how do you start it? Why do we do what we do, right? It's like, why is low punch so good, right? It's like, well, low punch will just stop any kind of mashing. You know, it's like designed to just kill mashing. And then learning how to deal with low punch is a big part of going from intermediate to advanced, actually. And then also, you know, stuff like when people say, well, you know, how do I deal with low punch? And I'll say, well, first you should understand that low punch is not the scary part. So if you get hit by low punch, that's okay. You need to be watching what your opponent does after the low punch. Is your opponent launching you into a combo after the low punch? Then you need to stop that. Is your opponent throwing you because you're actually defending properly? Then you need to address the fact that maybe if you defend too much, they're going to throw you. And then later on, you learn how to counter that. And then, are you using the advantage you get when you block a low punch? That's one of the hard skills to get good at. That's a really strong skill barrier for the intermediate level player, which is the standard response. Now an easy response when you block a low punch is to do a low punch back, but the standard response is actually an elbow. And that's one thing you got to practice. But why do people have a hard time doing elbow after blocking low punch? I've seen in my experience, if you're coming from Tekken or 2D fighters, a lot of people have a hard time because they have a habit of holding down back, because that's what you should do when you play Tekken or a lot of 2D fighters. And Virtua Fighter is a game that wants you to get the stick back to neutral or the D-pad back, like to just not not hold the direction so often. So part of it is getting used to that. Like you want to let the controls go back to neutral. And when you do that, then it's easier to do the elbow. It's learning how to rely on that standing block and you can standing block a low punch. But getting used to that into an elbow will get you comfortable with how you need to input in VF, how to buffer quickly, how to do a move really fast when the game wants you to. It's a bit of a learning curve, but I found that's probably the biggest barrier. The second though is that online it can be like, as I said before today, situation checking is the skill you really want to get good at, right? Situation checking is like when I'm that Akira player and I do the low punch, I want to watch Jackie's animation. And from that animation, if he's standing still, he's probably going to block, right? Maybe. That's kind of actually why sometimes you see me get free hits on strong players is they're situation checking, and it looked like I was not going to hit a button, and then I hit a button very late. So that can mess with somebody that's situation checking, right? Because situation checking isn't an actual real it's not. It can be a confirm, but a lot of time it's an estimation. It's a prediction. And what it is like while I block, or while I'm doing my attack, I'm watching the opponent's animation, and during that animation, I'm making a guess. But it's an educated guess based on their animation about what the outcome's going to be pretty early. And the boxing, you kind of need to do this. That's why boxing is a really good exercise at forcing you to eventually see it. When you play long enough, you're going to see that, you know what, everyone's low punch animation looks so generic. I can kind of see when someone does a low punch. And so when somebody mashes a low punch, if I know that the thing I'm doing is just going to beat the low punch, I kind of already know that I'm going to get this counter hit that I like, you know, whether it's a crouch hit or just a normal counter hit. But if I did a high attack, I'm in trouble, so I got to be ready for that low punch hitting me, and then I got to prepare for what comes next. So that's kind of what we're looking for. This is a skill that you can't get in a day. It comes with experience, but the more you play and the more you focus on it, you do eventually start to see it, and it's an amazing skill to have. It's not the only skill you have to have, though. Like a lot of people play Virtua Fighter at a really high level even without doing that situation checking. But it's just, if you want to know like where the consistency is coming and why people look almost psychic sometimes in their selection, is because they're doing a really good job with the situation checking. We're cheering on to go up pawn, right? No, True Godfist. I'm cheering True Godfist. I had so much fun playing with True Godfist the other day. But it is true what people are saying is that the goat pawn doesn't mess with evades, and I do think that's because the goat pawn plays with a difficult connection. If you play with a difficult connection, evading gets you in a lot of trouble because people are not always playing frame tight. Evading is good. Evading is a very good option when things are frame tight, and it's especially good when people decide to use a launcher. And at the higher level, how do you get someone to use a launcher? Well, you throw a lot, and if you throw a lot, eventually they'll do a launcher because they'll try to punish you for doing the throw. But then if they do a launcher, then evade is really good. Evade really punishes launchers. So good. Yeah. We got some really good Laos though, and I am glad that we've got Combo Expert as a really good Lao. D the G hasn't been playing Lao as much, but they still do play Lao, and they have a very good Lao. And C Money also has a very good Lao. I know his hype personality is not everyone's favorite, but it is some people's favorite. But honestly, his Lao is a lot of fun to watch, and there's so much it's a very strong Lao. There's a lot to learn from his Lao too. But we used to have Johosef. Johosef is like an insanely good Lao from the Final Showdown days. And so you can sometimes find their old videos. But we do have quite a few, and Jimmy Claymore has a really cool Lao. But it's a pocket Lao, so it's not quite the same. But Jimmy Claymore's Lao is really fun to fight against. But we do have them. But yes, would I love to have more Laos? 100%. But I'd love to have more of every character. So, Lao is a tricky character online. In Japan, even right, you don't see that many Laos play online, but a lot of Laos play offline, and that's because Lao is really. With Lao, you actually do want to do confirming, like hit confirming actually. And you want to do really tight situation checking with Lao. Lao has got is pretty scary at whiff punishing. If they're really fast, that whiff punishing is very terrifying. because on online is still really good, but in online they might feel more pressure to rush kind of a little bit, or to commit a little on some decisions that offline they could be much more reactive and pretty scary and strong, right? So, but the Lao player to watch, Wasakon still streams a lot per week, and Wasakon is one of the best Laos anywhere, one of the best Laos in the world. And you can actually ask Wasakon questions in English. His English is very good. I had so much fun hanging out with him and all the VF players at the bar, and I got to sit at the table with him and we chatted a lot. Wasakon is awesome. It is hard to look up the Japanese players because they spell their names with Japanese characters, and then their username on YouTube is like the generic like token names that like you can't remember any of those. And having to remember like a string of like 12 characters that have no relation to each other. you know so it makes it hard to look them up, but once you find them, you subscribe to them, put them on like a list, or I put them on a file, like on a notes file, so that I can jump back and watch their YouTube. It's 2:30. Let me see if Tricky is available. I think she is. See. Did I miss call? Maybe not. I think Tricky's probably busy, but she's going to be ready soon, I believe. Um, it's a busy work life, and sometimes stuff on call too. I really want to counter what Maidman is saying on the Discord, but I'm busy on the stream. Maidman is like talking on his cynical side, but I think he's completely either he's talking about the wrong event, because Sega Cup in USA was a success, but he's probably talking about Sega Cup 2014, which I didn't go to, and was communicated. It's just that things were different at that time. But I believe that event was still pretty active. It's just that 2013 was the big Sega Cup in the U.S. and then there was the EU one. But he was I don't know. The way he remembers things is totally different from how I remember things when it comes to that event. So, but he is also very cynical. So he's very cynical, and when it comes to VF, he's pretty jaded. So I get it, but totally different memory from what I have as far as Sega Cup. Because he said Sega Cup 2013, and that's the one I actually went to, and that one Sega actually did just fine. They did what they could on that event. They did what you would expect them to do, and they did good. 2014 I didn't get to go though. I was busy with work, so I wanted to go, and I got Masa Red to go, and I've got some other friends who went. So, and they told me they had an awesome time there, and I know that like Y2D. And I think Hernan were able to go there as well, so they'd have an accurate memory of that event. But yeah, as far as the Toronto scene, the traditional Toronto scene, the one that Maidman knows, yeah, COVID with COVID that scene went dark. That said, there are two players that have been kind of active. There's Black Alert, and who's amazingly strong, amazing Sarah player, one of the best in the country, in North America. It's not, United States and Canada are different countries. And Himajan is in Toronto as well. So Himajan and Black Alert are the two people that are still active in Toronto. So I was somebody was saying, is anyone in Detroit in the Discord? And I said, well, Cruza used to be in Detroit, but I think they moved to Jacksonville, and that was a long time ago, and I don't know where they are now. but Cruza still is very active. They play Final Showdown on the PS3. They play it online, and I think they do play it offline as well. And they upload their videos like every week. They've got quite a few videos they upload, so they're very active. I just haven't talked to Cruza in a long time, but I think Cruza. There's maybe a chance that Cruza's in Detroit or knows someone in Detroit. But even if that Toronto used to have a huge scene, but now Toronto has two amazing players that are active. And then for the scene, I haven't heard from them since COVID. A lot of them are guys that are a little bit older than me, so COVID could be really deep effects on their family, right? But I just haven't heard a word from the old Toronto scene since COVID, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. However, again, there's Himajan, there's Black Alert, and I know that if you like, they'll make time for people that come from out of town. Himajan made time for Setsuna, and Black Alert I know has made time before, but just coordinate ahead of time. But they're there, and those two players are really amazing. Ransom, awesome. I would like to know about. I'd love to fight Ransom, but that sounds good. Their Lao's good. Throw escapes need work. Okay. So Skadits, throw escaping. We're still seeing when Tricky will be available. Does this mean nope? Let me see if Tricky is calling yet. So I think Tricky's busy with work, and I don't blame her. To be busy with work is a good thing, by the way. Right now, I'm putting up the message, though, right now. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm really good. 1 second while I kind of offer a point of view on the Discord really quick. Because Maidman is saying Maidman's making it sound like Sega Cup was a disaster, and I'm like, Sega Cup 2013 was amazing. I didn't go to 2014, but people told me they had a great time. So I don't know what he's talking about, but
I thought 2013 went really well. I was one of my best.
You and I met at 2013. It was one of the best events that we had in the All Final Showdown. So I'm like, I don't know what Maidman's saying, but I think he's talking about 2014, and even then, friends of mine that went to 2014 told me they had a great time. So.
I didn't go to 2014, but I heard good things about it.
Yeah. So, I'm just offering my point of view before that becomes the narrative on the Discord. Because I love Maidman, but he tends to be on the cynical, jaded side, and I get it, but I'm going to offer my personal experience, which was like, I've never heard that it was like a bad event or disaster or whatever. So.
Yeah, that's the first for me too.
Yeah.
I never heard that either.
And then also he makes like, I told somebody that is in Detroit looking for players. I said, well, I know Cruza used to be there, but I don't know if they're there anymore. But they're still active making videos. But that said, I know that there are a couple amazing players, Himajan and Black Alert in Toronto.
Yeah.
If you ever want to make a trip to Toronto, which I've heard from Detroit is not a bad trip, and then and I've seen them make time for people from out of town. So I mentioned that, but Maidman did bring up that the old VF Toronto scene seems to be dead, and I'm like, I point out it's not because of this game, but I think they just went black during COVID. During COVID, I think like a lot of groups, they just kind of suddenly were no longer talking online. So I don't know, but that's just the last I heard of them. I don't know the reasons, but everyone's
I don't really know much about It's Detroit, the Detroit scene.
No, Toronto, because
Toronto.
Toronto is not that far. It's not really a huge trip away from Detroit. You cross the border, and it's a trip, but it's not. But it's a reason. It's a trip that a lot of people can make, and I've seen in the past people make. So that's why I brought up. Well, you can go to Toronto, and there are people to play VF there if you coordinate it. Just sometimes it's good to just let people know they do have neighbors, maybe not directly in the city. I'm going to Seattle this weekend to play with like various different people. So yeah. So it's one of those things. I'm just like, we can find people. There's people.
Yeah, there are.
But
maybe not in what do you call it, Australia so well.
Yeah, Australia there are some people too, but it's more limited. But there are people. There's a scene. It's actually a little easier in Australia than some other places I can think of.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike is still playing. That's Sydney, right? Elson will play online or offline with pretty much anyone that's within reach. There is Jihoon, right, who's the one playing with Mike and with Elson, right? Maidman, I don't really count on the list because he might come to an offline, and he definitely doesn't want to play online with anybody. So then I'm like, okay, that's his situation, Yeah. But and then from Maidman's reports, when he does do offline, there is a little bit, and there are people that can play and are available. So that's something. It's not nothing. It's not everything, but it's not nothing.
Yeah.
And,
right. It's something, exactly, like you're saying.
It's like, and actually, Mike and Jihoon is like, they're really strong. They're like Japan level strong, So it's like, and and Mike is happy to teach, right? I mean, teach is not the right word. Mike is like a dictionary, right? He likes to be that. He'll be the reference. You ask him a question, he'll give you an answer. You give information wrong, he'll correct you. That's the way he is. So he's a stickler for accurate information. I think that's how he functions. I think that's his skill set. So
I like the accurate information. That's good stuff.
We like accurate information. Well, some people are just like, why is he always coming around correct? Like, they're like, he doesn't post on Twitter until he's correcting someone. It's like, that's just the way he functions.
Well, that does. It would be nice to maybe not just correct folks, maybe provide information. That would be helpful too.
I agree.
Because otherwise it comes off as like kind of an asshole. So that's why you're getting a reaction.
That's the thing. It's the social. It's the EQ component. That's the problem. That's the challenge.
You gotta balance it out.
It's like this is an IQ response, but the EQ has been left wanting. So.
Yes. Yes. That has certainly been.
All right.
Well, I have a room. If you're looking to join it, or I can join yours if you already have one.
I will join your room. You make the great rooms. So. But thanks a lot again for doing this. I'll be able to do this until 7:00 your time, but then I have like stuff. But I want to do more in the future. I think we're gonna go more. I think. As long as you're available in the future, I'm definitely going to take you up to going towards 8 your time. but today I got quite a bit. Chavita has got a room today. Let's see here.
Oh, were you watching?
No, it's in the lobby. Chavita's literally.
You saw him. Yeah. They get to luckily play in those amazing lobbies.
Yes.
If only. You know my password, right?
Yes.
It's the same as... Yes, okay, great. Oh, we only have 3 bars today. Bummer.
Only for now. It's going to change. We'll see. I hope. So, all right. Did you want to set it to a battle number?
Yeah. I'm also setting up music on my side.
By the way, everybody, Tricky streams always wonderful. She puts on amazing music. And I love the music selection you put in there, and because of because people worried about getting strikes and licensing, then a lot of streams don't really put on like commercial music anymore. But I love it.
I don't really either, to be honest. I pick stuff except when I'm not planning on uploading it to YouTube.
Yeah.
If I don't find upload to YouTube, then I'll play with Emperor. But even then, like I don't love doing that
Yeah.
because it could be a problem. But on what's it on blank on the word on Twitch, they don't really care
Yeah.
all that much.
It only
Like, you can
affects like the
stream.
VODs, right? It only affects the VODs. It doesn't affect the stream when it's live. And at the same time,
right.
like it is unfortunate. Like I wish both YouTube and Twitch found better solutions for licensing because the amount of because in the 2010s it would be fun watching a stream and you would learn about a lot of good music just from what streamers were playing on their channels.
I know, it sucks.
And it creates so much atmosphere. It gets the vibe going really good, you know. So it's like, yeah.
No, it's like the worst. It's the worst problem to have.
Yeah. All right, we're on the very balanced stage. It might be, we're on Genesis. 1 wall, 3 ring out zones. You know, that's
It's
not
like
necessarily
they
balanced,
have
but but it is balanced for the players because it's like, you know, at least it's not like one side of them has the wall and one side has the.
Yeah, this is definitely not a stage that's in my favor.
Yeah, well, it's not everyone's favorite stage, but it's the alternative to the Great Wall of China stage.
Yeah, I like the Great Wall. I haven't been. I like this one too. I like them both. Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yes. Thank you.
That was a very fun round.
That's weird.
Man, no matter what, Eileen's still gonna get all that. I guessed right.
You did.
I did a guess there, right? You're like, Chomsky doesn't guess in this situation.
Is that not unsafe? That sweep on side turn?
Which sweep was it?
It's okay. I'll call him again. Shit. Oh, come on, man.
That's what that backdash was for. The backdash was for this. It's like backdash, and then, you know.
Sucks so much.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're like, those shenanigans don't work on Tricky. I've seen them. You're like, try again.
Not this, punish it properly, and we'll be halfway there. Right.
I like that you were prepared for that. Oh, that conversion.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like, yeah, that's right. It's a conversion on that. That second shoulder is so dangerous. Oh my god.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
It wasn't online. It was me waiting. It was me like hesitating. I really need to start attacking properly on fuzzy guards.
Damn, I was trying to catch that.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, you're like, go for the low. Go for the low. Good stuff.
I was like, I'm just going to throw it out. And I'm like, I'm just going to bet he's going to buy right here.
Yep, that was the buy. Very fun first game.
Mm-hmm. Up. Okay.
Is that pounce guaranteed if I stay down?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe. Fuck. Lost focus for like 2 seconds.
What the? Or yeah, there it is. Need to rein that in. I hit a button again on that move. I'm like, I know it was that move. Just wait. Is that back throw?
Forward.
Okay. I must have hit it late.
Yes.
Was that guaranteed or could I crouch? This PK.
You could have crouched.
Okay. 4P would have worked.
All of that.
4P would have worked.
But
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's only guaranteed 2P. Fuck. 3P was late.
Yep. You know that's what's coming there.
So I'm like super negative after that second shoulder. Like you can do whatever you want to me.
Okay. Guaranteed?
Like I should be.
Or
I
just
think
need
I'm
to talk
launch
to
punishable there.
Okay. Well, Leon doesn't have launch punishable, but yes.
Oh. Like if you can buffer your 4K in time, you can probably pull it off. I think I'm like negative 17, maybe even 18.
Oh my god,
just
that's
15.
awesome. That's awesome if that's true.
But
And
it's high. It's high.
and those shoulders are linear too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the shoulders are linear. It's really weird. You would think they'd be half circular, but yeah,
No.
they're very linear. So
Not in the world of Eileen. She doesn't get moves like that.
she should.
I love how you were buffering it.
Yep. Guaranteed. Alright. Forward, okay. Oh, the timing worked out. Because I was slightly slow, it got a counter hit. I'm glad that the range worked.
I thought that did work. That's why I was surprised.
Oh my god, I had it! I need to rotate my stick.
I don't know what's going on there.
My stick is off angle. I just need to
Okay.
rotate it, so.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what's... Uh-huh.
I thought I got it. I thought I got you.
You cannot do that many lows in a row on me.
Okay.
I was like, this is about you better not be doing 4 of these in a row. God damn it.
Oh, so nice. I like that sequence a lot.
Nice. Good, good, good.
Thanks. Hey, Satsuna. And hey, Bronx Jackie. Oh, nice.
It's so slow.
Yeah, you're like stupid ECD.
Her circulars are so fast.
The thing is, she has really good circulars, but they still are circular, or they still fall within those frames though where they're still not as fast as you want them, but they're still good.
That's why they're ass.
Yeah, it's like
It makes them ass.
They're kind of like similar in the John category of circulars, right?
He has that 16 frame. I think his are better. He has more of them too. Yep. I shouldn't have done that.
Nice.
Thank you. Want that?
Oh, so close. That was a move choice thing.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that was punishable. That was punishable. This was punishable. Yeah, so this move is punishable, and he's standing. The stupid thing is he's standing. It's another dumb Leon thing where it's like
it's not punishable. You're saying
it is punishable, but it's a step. It's a step aside. It's like a minus 14. I think it's minus 15. Nice. Go for the jugular.
I got lows too.
Am I coming to... What is SCC? Oh, is it Choya Cup? Yeah, Super Choya Cup. I want to, but that one's hard to tell. But there's a chance. If given the choice, I would rather go to Evo Japan. But yes, but I don't think I can go to Japan. So, so yes, I'm hoping to go to Super Choya Cup. I think a lot of players are making Super Choya Cup a destination for this in April. So, but man, I miss hanging out with you, Bronx Jackie, because I cannot pronounce your real name. So I will learn the pronunciation when I'm there. I like the two-handed attack. Oh, almost. I'm like, Tricky's not going to go for the low. Maybe this time they'll go for low. Nope. I mind gamed myself. No. Mind gamed myself.
No. Oh, I thought it was 8 there.
Oh, it's full circular.
Wait, that's full circular?
This last one, yeah. He's spinning around in a circle. I mean, look at this. That's a full circular.
Okay.
I would totally assume that's a full circular.
No wonder you thought my shoulder was half circular.
Oh no, that's why my instincts traditionally did. And then when I looked at her move list like 2 years ago, I was like, her shoulders are linear, you know. You're like, oh, I see the backdash. It's like, I know you saw the backdash.
Yeah.
I wanted to test it. Very nice options. Nice.
Thank you.
You're like, I was like, I know she's trying to hit it somewhere, but see if I can sneak it in here. Nope. You know?
Yeah, I didn't need to bring you out. I just wanted to use a die, so I tried to target moves that was gonna. I just thought you knew what you did, basically. It worked out.
It worked out very well. This is really fun though. These are the matches I love playing. So this is like what makes BFBF.
knew that was coming too. Didn't work when I was trying. It might still work if I do something a little different. We'll find out.
I hate that thing.
Yeah.
I did let go guard, but again, that's actually the other part of the netcode thing is it doesn't let you, like, you have to let go of guard early against shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. Because, like, I know, because, you know, like, offline, it's like, oh, okay, I can let go. It's like, but it's like, this got to be early. But it also did mean that I did have a mental lag, regardless. It's like proof I had a mental lag, so.
That's
way too powerful.
Online.
Yeah. Just online exposes the mental lags even deeper.
It does. So I wouldn't call that a lag if you can like catch up to it offline. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah.
Like I know my reactions are like just on the edge of usable. Wasn't what I thought you were gonna do.
That's how we deal with that option. It's like, but
Oof! Almost caught that. I'm run out. Done. I was like this close to hitting that damn move.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying because I know that like you're like this is the frustrating thing about the matchup, right? It's like he's got these tools to do this, but she's got the read stuff, right?
So that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I wanted that to happen. I just didn't time it quite
Yes.
right to hit you. That's where lag gets me a little annoyed because like I get so precise. Like I can't. If I'm too early, I won't hit you. If I'm too late, I get counter hit.
Yeah.
So it's I try not to play that way online too much because it's not nearly as effective.
Yes, I let go early enough. I mean, it's better if I did something else, but still. But I was like, that evade's not happening. Oh, nice just preparing for every option.
Yeah. Oh my god. Why would you do that?
I was trying to push you. I was trying to push you. And I hit kick instead.
Elbow I wouldn't be able to block it or evade it.
Yeah.
There was no space.
Oh my god, yes, this thing. It's okay, that's what Eileen does get, so. Oh, I thought 4-4 People's K would work, but nope. Yes, that was nice. I forget that that's Nitaku. Forget that that's Nitaku. Oh my god.
Didn't want that. Damn it! A little too obvious.
Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, the uppercut's always the clean way to do it. No, that was the kick. Circular.
I delayed it a little bit. Well, I tried to time it so that you couldn't get under it, but I don't know.
Worked out. No, but like my brain registered it. I thought my brain thought it saw the uppercut, but nope, it was that. So it's like, okay. Hey Diesel, good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. I know you had to deal with rough stuff, but if you are able to go to bonus round, I hope to see you at bonus round. I'm gonna be in Seattle this weekend, So Diesel, really good to see you. Thank you very much coming here. How are you doing? I hear you, man. Very nice way to cover my buttons. Very nice way to cover my buttons. I'm trying. I'm like, I think I can find a way. Nope. But I think you are seeing that. Like, I'm like trying to experiment with tech. Whenever I see shoulders now, I'm just like, let's see what I can do. Oh my god! Beat the option I thought I got you with.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky guess. Lucky guess. Lucky guess. I'm just like, and yet it's a bad. It's like a bad guess because actually most of the options, most of the answers would kill me. But
Really?
sorry, my wife called. I will answer the phone after this, but it's okay. She's calling. I gotta respond. I'm gonna have to meet them.
Can I get it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, get it.
I will be right back. Alright, 1 second, honey. Sorry, I'm on the stream, so I just have to go out of the room so they're not listening to you.
Time's up! I want a serious fight!
Okay, I'm back. Alright, can you hear me okay? I got set to speaker on this new app design. Alright, Tricky, can you hear me okay? Oh, I'm alone this call. Got it. I gotta call them back. This new app design is really tricky for me as well. No pun intended. Alright, everyone, hope you're doing really well. So Diesel, I do hope you're able to make it over to bonus round, but at the same time, of course, take care of you first. I care about you as a person before anything else. So, but really hope I can see you there. And but if it doesn't work out, I understand. But you know, do what's best for Diesel, of course. You know, we're always there for you. Yeah, so I'm doing okay with the wife. Just we had a bad connection on the phone, and so because of that, it's one of those things where it was hard for me to get a read on the situation. You know, when you're not sure if you're getting the silent treatment or you're getting the silent treatment. So, you know, when you get the silent treatment, it's really bad, right? But but it was just like the connection on the phone made it look like the silent treatment. So yeah, hey Okamito Lago, good to see you. How have you been doing? Hope you've been doing really well. Always love your support and your comments on the stream. I had really enjoying these battles with Tricky, but I think she's taking the opportunity to do the break she needs. I will let her know that I am. Sorry for the wait. Alright. Let's look at Tricky's.
Genesis, but we'll just do another one. We'll do it on Great Wall instead. Good for crouching, backdash, and DF. You bet crouching, backdash, and DF is a very not useful technique. My guy had a bad self-toughness, so. In our call, yeah, forward crouch dash is far more useful. It's the same input, except the other direction, right? So I'd recommend doing that instead of. Chenta, are you gonna hit the button? Hold on, is Tekken 8 out now? Can I play Tekken 8 now? Resume voice chat.
Hey, okay. Alright, can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool, I can hear you. Yeah, it was just a Discord thing, so that's why I was waiting to try to reconnect on the Discord. But
okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
For the record, I can say, because I heard that someone was asking about crouch backdash. Crouch backdash is insanely risky. I do it because certain Leon stuff, and because I like danger, but it is very risky. It's probably the most risky movement option actually in the game.
It is.
Like you can do backdash evade, you could do, and as Tricky said, VF likes forward movement. Sega has traditionally made forward movement stronger in most of their arcade designs, and then backwards movement typically weaker. So in this case, they actually in this game they made backdash really good, but they made it extra risky.
Oh, I ducked. I threw. Oh, that was a mistake. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Doesn't matter when it happens, it's gonna happen. Don't low there. Oh, what happened?
Should have guessed that. Should have guessed that. Oh, you get out. And I lose for it. That sucks.
It really sucks. And this is why Leon gets a lot of wins on these stages too. The Genesis Great Wall stage. Yeah, so,
I
especially
thought I
with
was
that.
ringing you out with the earlier, like my combo didn't ring. I thought
Yeah.
my combo was going to ring you out. I didn't think you were going to get up.
Yeah, it's so the reminder is that the annoying thing about Leon's stance is where that center of gravity is. You know, and so it's very deceptive on it. So you always think you got him rung out, and you don't. Yeah.
Want that room? Yeah.
Nice delay throw.
Thank you.
Oh, there it is. Look at this. That's what you get for backdashing predictably. Nice. That's what you get for doing a slow
you.
move. Slow move.
I thought I was fast enough.
Ah, punish. Again, thanks for checking me. Okay, I know you're thinking about the 9K there. That's plus, okay.
Now I was thinking Shiva. I like Shiva.
Okay,
All
play
I'm
like
thinking
Shiva,
about.
yes.
I like. What would Shiva do? She would fucking block. That's
Yes.
what she would do.
Oh, and Leon hates defensive play, you know, more than anything. Because Leon has to, like, stretch to normal hit crap, you know?
Yeah. The mixture of what I saw Shiva doing and what I saw Tonkatsu doing when he played with Eileen that one time.
Oh, so good.
Hi, Karama. Welcome. Oh.
starting to make like the Adam Yuki sounds.
What?
Like when Adam Yuki like emotes, when he starts making grunts and sounds when he plays. I'm starting to make those sounds. Ah, so nice. I love that cancel. Alright. That was so bad to do. You're like, you can't shenanigan me. I'm too fast. I'm too fast to be shenaniganed. So, wanted to shenanigan you.
That's why I'm approaching it with Sheila style.
Yep.
Of like, all right, it's hard, and like the reward is low if you fuck up, but
Yeah.
and the punishment's high if you fuck up, but the reward is you don't die and the enemy dies,
Yeah.
and there's like really no real reason not to use it other than pure laziness. Like it's just the most effective way to play the game. There's no if ands like I just watched it. I watched it do its thing, and I'm like, no, this is pretty effective. Is it hard? It's very
Yes.
hard.
Very
But is
hard.
it effective? Hell yeah.
But that's also like, you know, the GT Killer realm too. My wife calling again?
No.
Oh my god. You were trying.
Still lost her out. Still lost.
I don't know, but
The mid. Why is that a mid? Come on.
It's like, this is like the cheap finish here. So
Why is that a mid?
yeah, it should be a high. Should be a high.
Should be a high. I'm like, why is that a mid? What the fuck?
Because they made it a mid in VF2. Nice to see you, Sozos. I do have a wonderful time playing with Tricky always. Yeah, absolutely. I have a wonderful time playing with everyone, but it's a real special fighting with Tricky. Very nice.
I might, y'all.
I need to start punishing shit.
Yeah.
Okay. See what happens when Tricky gets confused by this next stuff now.
But I broke that.
Round 3. Ready,
Portland punish. Okay, can't delay that much.
Yeah, I had to get you earlier.
Yeah.
The fuck? Not happy with that round.
You did. You had me. You did.
Not happy with that round at all.
Round one. Ready?
Never go for that. It's tricky nowadays. So much
like,
lag.
fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't done that in our entire sets of sets together, like not once. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay. Finally pulled it off.
Oh my god. See, that's the crouch backdash opener losing badly. So that was
You
perfect.
don't do that against me.
Yeah. That was not. Was that a crouch dash sidekick?
Yeah.
Damn it. That wasn't the combo with her.
I want to make you stop doing stuff. Don't want to stop. I can't make you stop stuff.
Wrong one.
Oh, okay. Ooh, misread that.
Oh my god, this might be ring out. Nope. Good round, good round. You're like, that was frustrating as hell. That's not good.
I knew I was too far for that. I don't know why I couldn't punish that move you did earlier.
It was a brain fart right here, because that's punishable. But yeah,
Not that one. It was earlier when you did like a kick. I tried to punch you afterwards.
I see. Yeah, I do remember, because I was like, oh, the
That's
punish was
what I was
dropped.
like, the fuck. That keeps happening. Like the fourth time.
Is the move dropping though? Is
No,
the
it's
move?
just not coming out fast
It is
enough.
coming up. But it's coming out late, right?
Coming out late. I'm like,
Okay.
fuck, man. I know I'm timing that right. Yeah. Yep.
Round two. Ready?
I didn't want to do that. Ooh, missed. I got the forward dash that one.
Oh, nice. I love your 4-6Ps when you bring them out. I also like that you don't bring them out like recklessly. They're always like pinpoint targeted. So
Those are very risky.
yeah,
They're very, very risky.
they are, especially with Leon. So because he does have slippery moves too.
Just take a lot of L's doing this. It's hard. very hard.
It's a goal worth going for. And the stream knows,
It
like,
is.
this is not aiming for win. This is aiming for mastering the matchup. So the trick is
difficult.
investing in winning the matchup. So
So hard to stick to the gun because you're like, this is so hard. This is so hard.
Very-
And I know if I was to revert back, I would win. But like,
yeah.
and like in your mind, you're constantly having these two battles of like, do I stick to it, or do I just take the L's and just believe in the process? And like, that's not easy to always have.
That was a
Not
fun class.
so
I wanted to
bad.
see. I wanted to test that interaction. It's like, nope, not having it. It doesn't work. Oh, so good.
Thank you.
I thought I could tech that.
You can.
What was that tech roll? It's so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I did my move right, but I didn't. Yep. Uppercut threw me off. And there are a lot of like little things about Leon that are like really, really annoying.
Yeah.
Like he is annoyance incarnate.
Well, that's also why you like the way that I play Leon, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, what? I must not have held guard in time. I definitely broke it. I think I threw it by accident. Oh, it's
That-
hard to hold on.
That
So hard.
that one's a hard one to tell too. Like whether if it was from but I do think like I delayed that 6-6 so I think it was something like you're saying where you're like you broke in time.
True.
So,
I threw.
you know.
You can see my arms going out, like starting to go out. Definitely hit the throw by mistake. Need to do.
That said, if I do these two-handed pokes, they are punishable. In many situations.
What?
Obviously, it's hard to tell. When we're doing evade wars, it's really hard to tell what is punishable. But a lot of times this thing, yeah, a lot of times if I do that and it's not guaranteed, like it's like he's in some kind of trouble. It's hard to tell. Yeah. 'Cause, like I think eventually Dennis 201 figured out that so Dennis's Jackie like will just totally nail me if I whiff those. So like you. Oh, that was really fun.
And didn't bring it. Finally. Yeah, it's bait.
I'm just so glad that wasn't the 9K. It was-
Would have
like-
would have worked. See, I'm evading those
Yeah.
late.
like I
So
said,
I
it's the
can't
hard.
punish you.
Yeah, like it's very frame
The way I'm
decision.
evading them.
Yeah. So the hard part is because again, it's going to be frame situational.
Yeah.
Which is-
yeah,
I mean,
so
that's-
like,
that's
situations
evade wars
where
in
I'm
a
evading
nutshell.
It, I can't punish it because like I'm not reading you're doing that. I'm
Yeah.
just hitting it. I'm just backdash evading it, and it evades sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, based on whether you did it or not. So in those situations, you don't get your
Yeah.
frames like you would typically because
Right.
you lose them during the backdash, and you're not doing it immediately.
Exactly.
You're doing it like with a slight delay.
That's true. Yeah.
So I can't punish it.
Yeah,
I have
so
to
you're
take
playing
another
it.
guess.
You're playing good.
Round one.
Someone that's not Nero says someone that's not Nero needs to hype up Choya Cup. Yeah, the good thing is that because of your work last year, Nero, actually a lot of North American players have already expressed that they're planning to go to Choya Cup. So yes, they're taking your lead on that. There it goes. Yeah, so we're taking your lead. We're following Nero's lead, and everyone knows that's like the tournament to go for. I'm just like, oh, it happens to be same time as Evo Japan, but I don't think I can go to Evo Japan anyway. Very nice.
Thank you.
Felt very sealed. Man, those double uppercuts. I just need to just, do the Y2D thing and do the double evade sometimes. It's like the double evade is really fun to do though. It's like, oh, But it's something I don't do, but it's actually very strong in this game. Oh no, Nero's got bad news for Setsuna. He just like the sweaty room.
No, they were very sweaty.
That was very sweaty. Yeah, I actually like I understood Nero when I was like I was actually for sure knew that Nero was gonna open the windows or demand to open the windows.
Well,
It was
that's
palpable. Alright. Let's see if I can counter this. You're like, no, don't counter, just block. You counter it with block.
Round four. Ready, go.
ah,
I'll take this one. When you get used to seeing this one and punishing that one, watch how he steps
what
over.
is it on block? What is it on block?
Pretty bad. At least it's minus 13 or minus 15. And it's standing.
Didn't get very much.
It's standing
Are you-
despite
are
how
you
stupid
standing?
that looks. It's standing. Like you can
Okay.
throw it. Yeah.
Saw you evading.
But I don't mind training you to see this move separate from the other move that looks so much like it.
Well, they won't negative 15 though, right?
Yeah, it's like I believe it's minus 15, but at the very least it's
Yeah.
minus 14. I'll just say it's minimum minus 14 because I've seen people like freaking elbow me and stuff.
I have a hard time seeing the difference between that one and the one where you can like go back turned and you're plus on block when you go on that stance that I hate.
Yeah, no, exactly. So the trick is just watching the way he steps into it, which is dumb, but that's Leon, right? It's like part of his annoying design. I couldn't believe that I hit it, so I just I was like, oh my god, I hit it. All right, here we go.
Round two. Ready, go.
Nice.
Even from the side.
Oh my god.
I'm mad about that. I'm mad about that.
Yeah.
I was real fucked up. I was trying to crush it, that rising kick. And duck that. It's not what I thought it was.
Round 5. Ready?
Really? Oh, that's gonna hurt.
That's it. Good game. Good game. Just waiting for it. Just wait for it. Good game.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that was what you were gonna do, but I'll take it.
Yep.
I didn't even think about the 9K. Just like it was weird. The 9K just kind of came out.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even
Okay.
think about it. It just
It's a really good option,
just-
especially there.
just
Especially,
happened.
I'll say it's actually, well, for me, because of the way I'm playing late today, like near the ring out. I don't think I don't think I'm doing that many mids when I should, like in like fighting out of the ring out spots. But that might change now. But I'm just saying, you know. But if I'm like self-reflecting, I'm so greedy, and all I have to do is all three. I don't think matchup charts are way too hard to do in VF, in my opinion, because they're very complicated. Like, I think it's just weird because there's so many tools, right? And it's so like system general stuff. So it's more about like attribute chart is an easier way for me to see VF. Like an attribute chart's a little better than say a matchup chart.
Blocking it.
But there is a matchup. I mean, like I do think Leon matches up well against Eileen and Aoi, right?
Yeah, I blocked that. What the fuck?
But at the same time, it's up to the player on how they play. Oh my god.
You're just like, see that right there? That's why I don't punish that other move, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
That's the reason. That's what it's there for. There's no time for you to like hit check and like know which one you did. Like I can't see that shit.
Oh my god, I hate 9P. It's
Why
really
would you
good.
2P there?
I 2P'd there. Got called out. Got so called out. Yeah, that's better than the hit throw. Because the game is so player versus player,
You know.
matchup charts are just going to be way too deceiving because it's like it makes sense when you're talking about professional Japanese players or like the top 5 of like a country, but it's like, and even then it's still like they can like Tricky can just come in and have been playing against certain person and is just in the right mindset to destroy that matchup, but Tricky also just plays a solid way all the time. Right? That's probably more a Chanchai thing. Chanchai's been training with Renzo, and now I gotta worry about how he's gonna play this matchup. Or on this day. That kind of thing. Or Chanchai's been playing with Tricky, so now Chanchai is not doing these certain things that they'll do on other days. So it's so player versus player as opposed to matchup that you feel like you're lying, and that's why when people ask us some like general stuff, what should I do? It's like, it depends. It's like the answer. It's like, what is your opponent doing? And the problem is a beginner is like, I don't know what they're doing. But if you do know what they're doing, or what you feel like is giving you trouble, then we can give a lot of good help there. I tend to make some leaps, so I tend to make some assumptions that some of my peers would not normally like to make because it's like because I could be way off, could be way off base. But yeah, but the attribute chart can give you an idea of matchup dynamics for sure, right? Why is Leon strong against Aoi? Because a big powerful thing to do against Aoi is to condition her to deal with low attacks, right? That's like the basic gist of it. And so she can deal with low attacks. She just doesn't like to because there's a lot of stuff she does that can deal with like everything else so well. And that's why Jackie and Brad and John get frustrated fighting against Aoi, right? They feel like they have to play like their weakest moves to deal with her. When you combine the dynamics of their throw, and you combine the dynamics of they like to hit with mids and highs, you know, they do have good lows. So right, like Brad has got like that lunging low punch, and if he hits that on Aoi, she's not going to be happy, right? But then at the same time, what they do have against her, her sweep is not as strong against Brad and Jackie the way that it's strong against everybody else. It's still really good. Yep, that delay. That was fun. That was so much fun. Yeah. Well, Jackie's insane because he's got like he's Mr. I can whiff punish with beat knuckle. And then I also have like an uppercut that is so good as a counter hit launcher. And then I have everything else. Like I can pressure. I can play like my reactive style is so scary, right? I don't even really have to guess. But then Jackie can guess. You know? Yeah, so but the beat knuckle is definitely one of those things that makes Jackie very terrifying when people get good at causing whiff, at causing highs and throws to whiff, and then you get beat knuckled. It's very terrifying. You know? And then of course they take it over the top by being able to do EI Gary at combos with the beat knuckle. But then, you know, and even if you say Jackie's side game is kind of underwhelming, the fact is he's good at pressuring, so his side game is fine. You know? And he does still have side game crap, you know. Then he has the wall game, and we didn't even talk about the wall game. And Jackie's wall game is not like bottom tier. So right. But Tricky can say if I'm saying anything wrong here. I know they're focused on the fight.
Yeah, I'm focused on beating some ass right now.
I didn't believe.
Neither did I. Come on, game. The fuck?
Trust, I'm feeling it too. I mean, not from the game. I'm feeling it. In my case, it's nerves. Oh my god! Didn't see him like that. Like I actually was ready to punish. And then
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, come on. What the fuck?
No, but I call it tilt. I call it like nerves. Yeah, I know. We'll call it tilt. Because I felt the offline tilt in myself, and so I have to admit I felt offline tilt. Offline tilt feels horrible.
Offline tilt?
Yeah, when you're like in offline and you're just like slowing down mentally, or you're like just not on it, or the worst, when you're twigging out. So what happens is like you're hitting buttons too fast. So yesterday I did that quite a bit. Like
I don't have that experience.
Hitting buttons too fast sucks. It's the worst because nothing comes out.
It's great. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's like you do this and you can't do like your mix up because you're too fast. And you're like, what? And then you do it like twice in a row. You're like. But when you are in sync, it feels good, and everybody's like, "Holy crap, you were fast today!" You know, it's like,
yeah, I don't have that feeling.
Yeah, so Nero, you
Yeah,
can
feeling
totally
your
feel
opponent's
tilt.
tilt is the best.
Feeling the opponent's tilt is the best. I 100% agree. I feel it more in offline, but I do feel it online too. But that's because I play aggressive style, right? So I'm like, they're tilting because they're slowing down. They're tilting because everything is starting to fall apart. They're like, it's lag, and I'm like, it's not lag for me, you know. But it's like, but
Right, but like
there are
that's
times
why I
when it
love
is
online
lag.
tilt though, because like there's always
Yeah.
that doubt of like, well, is it as bad for them as I think it is?
The
But
online tilt
offline,
is
you know.
brutal. Yeah, the online
Like, you
tilt
know,
is a
no, you're just
sandy.
playing like ass. I'm beating you.
Yeah,
That feels great.
The online tilt is like, it's a really like, it's being stuck in quicksand. Yeah, you know, because
Yeah.
you're unsure and you're just like,
Feels
I
so
don't
much
like
better
this
offline.
uncertainty, you know. Yeah, I love your like call out. You're like, you're gonna evade, you know.
Yeah. Right, Nero. Like, I understand online tilt exactly. Like, I get it.
No, we all trust me. We all get it. Yeah, we do get. I'll be honest. Regardless of what I'm saying, I do get the online tilt, and I do feel it too. It's just that said, it depends on the level of player because, like I said, there are players where it's like that wasn't the online, right? You know, like I've been fighting you, you're not buffering at all, so I know you're delaying, and so. But I can feel, right? I know, like, when it should work, it's like, that should have worked. I know Tricky did it.
Right.
You know? It's
Like, you know you're
like,
timing.
I know when the lag
So-
hits you, and you've
Yeah.
seen me apologize when it did, so it's like...
Yeah, the only way to deal with it is to just press the button sooner.
Yeah. But then if it's extreme, the only way to deal with it is just to change your game plan, unfortunately, right?
I just don't play. I was gonna say no.
Yeah,
Not to play.
you're like, I will finish this one match and I will leave. You know?
I'll leave. Yeah, I'll get the fuck out.
But again, what I do like about playing online and also playing on stream is it has taught me how to like access these different gears, right? Like right now, the talking gear is not a bad gear. It's not as there are huge weaknesses to it. But the good thing about it is sometimes I allow myself to listen to my subconscious a little more when I do it.
Damn
So,
it.
and it's kind of like, and I'm like, okay, that seems reasonable in my head. Like, okay, I think, and so it's helped me play a little faster by doing that too. Sounds weird.
No, makes sense. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Nice call out. It is autopilot. So the thing is, this is a managing of autopilot, right? So this is it's a type of managing the autopilot. So it's like I will allow myself to autopilot this, but I'm going to intervene when these things happen. You know, kind of feeling. It's a weird feeling, but that's the reason that sometimes I can do that mode. And the surprising thing is when you hit a certain part of it, it can actually feel kind of like flow state, but it's not the same as flow state. Flow state totally feels like the game's in slow motion.
Hate that move. No, do you know that move is on block? That one
Uh, it-
on Ogi that you just did?
It's like a minus 12 or 13.
No, don't say that bullshit. It's not minus, it's plus. It's not minus. No, when he goes into stance, though,
Oh,
that back turn stance. Not just
oh,
because of
yeah. No, you're talking about the kick?
No, I'm talking about the punch that you go into stance from.
Yeah, it's probably plus 4.
You're plus. You're plus something. I just want to know how plus you are.
Nice meaty.
Thank you.
I do need to do elbow meaty. Like, I need to start incorporating that. It's really good, like you were
Which
saying.
move? I don't know, Nero. I don't know. I just hate it. I hate the move.
Tricky's talking about this. Yeah. Low poke into this, right? Because when Leon cancels into back turn.
Not into the follow up, just going in the back turn, just the state. I
Yeah.
don't care about the follow up.
Right, I know.
You are after you go into that stance from like It's -3?
Minus
so
3.
why am I getting hit out of my fucking elbow when I elbow him after that? After I block it?
If I hit
Every
you.
time.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time I've gotten hit out of my fucking elbow. Look, right there.
Because
my
the
elbow.
kick. Because the kick is fast. It's like 11 frames.
I don't give a fuck what it is. If you're -3, it's okay.
Because it's hard to react to. I think what Nero is saying is that the recovery frames are
saying it's
that
lag. What are you
is
saying?
that it's got low stun, right? It's got very low stun. It's hard to react to.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate. I didn't think you'd keep doing that.
I'll use that tricky against tricky
You use it
offline.
against me offline, and I'll elbow you out of it. Yes, it does. From the right foot stance.
It does?
From the right foot stance.
Okay. So from the correct foot stance, 2KK
As
will
far as the
actually
line.
so it'll slide under 9K? It'll super crouch that crap?
Not 9K. No, nothing is under 9K. 9K is a godlike move. Don't you disrespect 9K.
Oh no, 9P, 9P. Okay, so 9P, okay. So 9 but
9P,
because 9P has
9P.
wind up frames, right?
What?
Does 9P have wind up frames before hopping before hop state?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It's like 22 frames.
Okay. Remember these words you said, Tricky. I'll elbow
I'll
you
elbow
out of
you out of it. If it's
it.
negative
Hey,
3, I'll
it's
elbow you out of it.
confirmed Nero is going to Super Choya Cup. We're going to hold him.
-3.
I let go of guard, but it's online. So
My elbows.
Online does not let you go guard. Like you have to go way early. It's like the crouch. It's like the low block. You know, it's like okay.
Yeah. Trying to get under there.
We love having Nero in the chat. It's so much fun. Ah, damn it. That was me. Good game, good game.
I was like,
Good
he's
set,
gonna do
good
some
set.
shit that's not real.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit him. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna hit him.
I was getting too cocky. It was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
And you said you can only go till 7, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is
Okay, then
7.
we gotta wrap it up.
We gotta wrap it up. All right, what do you want to say to everybody? What are some pointers and what are some things you'd like to?
What was that? I couldn't hear. What?
Sorry, I keep getting phone calls. What would you like to say about today's session or topics that were talked about today? Recaps.
Yeah. Well, I'll say. I mean, today I was focusing on applying what I saw Chiwa doing, which is just a much better version of what I'm trying to do. But I'm like, I would go through phases where I'm like, is this really effective, or am I just wasting my effort and time? Because it's really freaking hard to do.
Are you talking about the iron defense, or are you talking
and
about just
watching
being like good at like the
how-
2G, 5G, or?
No, well, that too. That's a prerequisite. It's what she was doing isn't just checking. What Chiwa does is he defends.
Yeah,
really,
only-
really well.
Only hits when
And-
he gets it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. It's set there. So sometimes you cut out on the Discord call, so it's hard to always hear what you're saying. So I'll like miss a word here or there, and I'll be like, "What?" That's why I keep asking you, "What did you say?"
Okay.
But
Well-
yeah. From watching his set with Tonkatsu Grand Finals and the other sets he did with them too, like what allowed him to be so consistently able to beat people's asses was his ability to not get hit,
Yeah.
which forced his opponent to have to do riskier and riskier things in order to actually hit Chiwa.
Yeah. So
And then Chiwa would react with a missed throw attempt with a PK into Boktai or PK into nothing, and evade your move that's punishable on evade with a 2P, and then see how you handle the side turn pressure after that. Or see what do you do when you're side turn. And the people were just constantly side turn because he's evading, he's backdash evade canceling, he's crouch fuzzy guard into evade dash. He's also in neutral, sometimes just holding down and tapping it. Like I was watching his hand, because you can see it in the video, his left hand holding the joystick, and he would just kind of tap down, and then he would react.
Yes.
But there was a rhythm to it. You can look at it. If you look at his hand, there's a rhythmic timing to how he's holding down and letting go of it.
Yeah. So, no, that's a really good. Is an incredible breakdown of exactly the way that Shiwa plays. Now, what I would say is that this is Shiwa's style of play. Like this is how Shiwa generally plays. The thing that I'm really curious is how they were able to crack the code on how to do it against Tonchan, because that's been the thing that's been so hard for Shiwa, is being able to how to crack, or not crack, how to outdo Tonchan, right? And is it just defend better, or is it like what happened in that matchup? Is what I'm wondering, because this is something that has been the real hard part for Shiwa to overcome when fighting Tonchan in the past. Like Evo is the big one, but not just that, right?
Go ahead. I think it's that he made no mistakes.
Yeah.
And exactly, Nero was saying he has no rewarding normal hit stuff.
Yeah.
And he wasn't getting counter hit. Also, the other part, like Nero's also noticing, that defensive style isn't useful if you're unable to punish with throws, with PK or something.
Yeah, you have to punish with throws.
Because that's what you're playing for. You're playing for the whiff.
Yes.
You're trying to force the whiff, and when it comes, you have to hit them.
Yes.
And those add up, and that's how you win the whole set consistently. It was godlike.
Yep. Yeah,
Absolutely
like what you're saying is Tonkatsu couldn't find the timing to counter hit Shiwa. And it's very true, and it's so hard, and Shiwa is like the insane master of defense. Like there's you can't even overstate it. It's like it's a fact, and it's scary when you watch them apply these principles to other characters that aren't Pi, like I heard Shiwa's L Blaze is untouchable, and it's just like.
And that's really hard to do because it requires a lot of discipline on the player side to not do things that are going to be punishable on evade. That's the biggest one, and almost everything is punishable on evade. So if you watch his set with Tonkatsu back, or just most of his sets that he had during the entire event that I saw, at least, he's using jab, elbow, and 2P mostly.
Yeah.
Except when he's in Nitaku. Then he might use something bigger. And the reason he's doing that is because when he's in those Nitaku or, sufficient plus frames, you're not punishable on evade if you use the right total attack frame move, total frame move. And he just knows that, and he goes through the move so quickly. He picks the right move so quickly. He's playing literally perfect.
Yeah.
That's really hard. He makes defense in this game look OP.
Yeah.
We need more offensive options in this game.
Right.
We need some fucking superstar possibly to beat Shiwa's ass, because goddamn.
But it's
rewarding as fuck.
But it took 13 years. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, I agree. And it is something important to have people know that that's what they're watching, or what they need to look for when they watch Shiwa play, and tell them you need to watch everyone try to hit Shiwa-pon. Yeah. Oh, we're not Shiwa. You have to develop your own, 100%.
Yeah.
100%, I mean, Tricky's playing the high-risk, high-reward character.
Different musicals taste, different ways of playing the saxophone. In training, what we're taught is to listen to a certain musician, emulate their style perfectly, or as close as you can with your own, body, with your own instrumentation, and then you can forget about it. And what will end up happening is you'll integrate different parts of that player that resonate with you and it will come out in your playing. So like right now, like literally, like this set, and when I was playing yesterday, I was trying to be very strict and say, no, 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 just do what I believe she would do in the situation. Just stick to his play style. And it's not my play style at all. Like, I don't play that way.
But I think you're capable of it. So from the way I do think you're capable of it. Like, and I think you've been working towards it for years now, for a couple years, right? At least 3 years more. But I think obviously you and I started from a place of how do we crack the opponent, but then it's like you've been already on the path of mastering moral play too, and then using that to crack and reverse. Right. And and then now Hernan and I are the guys who just always loved cracking people, and now we're like trying to be much more moral. Or it doesn't look moral today, but but I think you also know that you're like, actually Chanchai is defending more than Chanchai was defending 2 months ago. So
substantially more.
Right. So.
And any lack of you defending more than you already are, I take full responsibility for by not punishing you harder for all those sweeps you keep throwing in my face that I keep not punishing with a 9K. It's purely my fault. So, I'll work on that so that you stop feeling comfortable throwing those sweeps.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I'm such a butthead that the stubbornness it makes you guys go, really? Really? When I used to fight against old Chicago player, but back in Japan now, Shota, he would just always shout out like, greedy, like, because of all my plays are so greedy, and I think that's really good definition of the way I play VF. It's really greedy.
As we're kind of talking about this general idea of like getting stronger in strength and like what makes for you a strong player, I mean, you do have to lean into whatever you're good at.
Yeah.
So like, I know what my like neurological strengths are, like what I'm just good at generally doing, and I lean into those things. Every once in a while, I try to bring up the things I'm weaker on, like my reactions are ass. Shiwa's style of play is very reactionary in a way that I am not used to using. But like, there were bits and pieces where I left his style off. I was like, all right, I'm going to use his style for a little bit in this situation where maybe I'm stuck or I'm like feeling like I'm not doing something that's more optimal, and then use my own stuff around with it, like those tech roll traps or the spacing traps. Or just that 9K because I feel like it in my bones. You're gonna throw a low in my face and fuck you.
Yeah. But that's what I really love about VF though, is that it does have a lot of these fun toys to play with on the table, And obviously, when we're talking about the highest levels of play, it's it's going to be about as restricted as it can get, but VF is actually still incredibly dynamic on that, But also, to what Nero is talking about is, what we would say about Nero is, I like that. To me, Nero plays like on an artistic level, so it's like because they can feel, like from experience, from all their training and all their playing, they really feel a lot of stuff well, and they see certain truths in their play, and they see when people are deviating from even from the frames and mess with that, and it's really fun fighting Nero directly, right? And then it's also really fun fighting, I'm going to talk about European players, it's also fun like fighting Kingo, because with Kingo I felt like I'm being dissected, and he's building strong plan over time, over many games, and he's going to let me like really push him around those first many games, and then after that it's like going to be start really apply the pressure with the plan, and then apply Yomi where at certain spots, but generally it's a very strong balanced VF, with a really strong defense. But the thing that impressed me, of course, was, as I told you, and it's skills that you have as well, which was the situation checking was on a really high level and so consistently accurate, and the Yomi was also pretty accurate, and it was just like, wow, like and so things that were like for sure good to do were being chosen, and in situations that are very vague, But at the
Yeah.
same time, I felt happy that I was fighting against it very well. I had awesome games, right? Just like when we fight, I feel like I'm fighting. Sometimes I'm getting blown up, but a lot of times I feel like I'm fighting well regardless. At
Yes.
times, but I am also very defiant, and I play a very high risk VF. But I do want to manage it better, and risk is really, yeah, generally risk is unnecessary in this game, but it is fun.
Yeah, risk is unnecessary in a sense, but like it's also like how do you? So if I'm
Sometimes
going to
it's,
say,
yeah.
if I had to choose, like whether I wanted to play more like Shiva or more like Tonkatsu, I'm closer in my soul to Tonkatsu.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
I'm an aggressive bitch. I want to rip your goddamn heart out and make you eat your entrails. Like that's me. So, but she was not that kind of a player, right?
Yeah.
So what's really nice about having those two in this event was that you could see two different ways of playing the game and how effective they can both be.
Yes.
So you don't have to like say, oh, I have to play this way. You can play however the fuck you want.
Yep. And I'll say it again. Always listen to Tricky. Also, always listen to Nero. Nero's writing a
Yeah.
lot of good stuff in the chat, and it's like, yeah, listen to what Nero's saying, but also listen to what Tricky's saying. And they're both saying really good supportive stuff together, And it's yeah. Oh, Tricky's
In my soul, I
definitely
am Tricky, of course.
definitely has
I'm
an
always
identity.
me, which is my own style. No one can replicate Tricky's Eileen.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Nobody in the world has. Nobody can.
I've been trying to teach these other Eileen players to like do some of the things I do, and it's really hard. I don't know how. Because what I had to do to get to where I'm at like with her required like so much detail and attention that I haven't really met someone else who wants to do that.
Well, yeah, and it's
It's
like
it's hard.
well, it's also like I really, I'm exciting when we do the next time we get to play offline as well because Eileen has a full spectrum. She's a full grayscale on her string canceling ability, and that's really it shines in offline. Online, the variance in the online environment really, like, even for Tricky, makes them like not want to use it as much. And I know in offline, they really love playing with that playground that Eileen has. That's very unique to her in this game, and it makes her more like a Soul Calibur character, So,
I would say more like a Street Fighter character, but instead you have to like manually do all of your cancels. Like your low forward into Hadouken,
yeah,
you have to just manually cancel that, as opposed to whiff punishing and like buffering the whole thing in. You can't do that with Eileen. You have to like see the counter it, and then do the follow up.
yeah,
Which is hard, but the reward on it is so high, which is likely why they nerfed her into the goddamn ground, because they were scared. Like this, like truly, I think this is what happened with her. Like they were scared that if she wasn't like more prone to taking damage, she'd be too powerful because of her ability to get counter hit checks and do so much damage so quickly. But they were wrong. They didn't understand how powerful the average character was going to be in this game. It's like everyone does so much damage.
It's hard to imagine that they underestimated the power level of every character in this game, but I think but I do think it's also like they mostly got it right. But Eileen did get tuned into probably the most difficult spot, because the risk reward is a little, and the fact is that the reward. It's like, okay, she has the reward, but the problem is everybody has the reward. It's like if you really want to make her like the glass cannon, then like 2 choices should win a match, right? Because this game it's like three to 4.
They didn't do that because of how safe her counter hit checking moves are.
Yeah.
Like they're relatively safe on evade. They're relatively fast. So they probably thought, and the cancels do a good chunk of damage. Like 5 of those, you're dead.
Yeah.
Because it does that much damage, which is a lot. The problem is those are locked behind your reactive ability. and it's just too hard. They need to make the window wider. Then it would probably be better. She would be more strong. But like, the real problem with Eileen isn't that she's light. It's that she's too fucking hard to play. That's really the problem.
Yeah.
Like, her best shit's locked behind really hard shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but I like playing her that way, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, it's life of a skill character, right? We'll call her a skill character, even though a lot of beginners like playing her because they like to hit 9K. But the thing is that she's actually she's a skill-based character. Which is another way to say she's hard to win with, at most levels of play. But it's like Aoi is really a skill-based, is like an insanely skill-based character in my view. She has stuff, but it's like it's actually harder to teach beginners how to win with her because of the lack of damage aside from get good at throwing, and so. And it's like she does have combos, but almost all of her combos kind of require setting up well or like good judgment in where to use it, And so,
yeah.
Whereas Eileen,
Jackie's just similar.
That is actually true.
What about Eileen?
No. I think we've already said everything that about. I was just probably going to end up repeating a point. But what I will say is Nero brought up, though, that Jackie's a good example, too, because Jackie, the reason a lot of beginners struggle with Jackie, actually, or not beginners, intermediates, the reason at the intermediate level a lot of people struggle with Jackie, though, right, he doesn't get much on normal hit. He has to use like 6K if he wants to normal hit, But then you just have to teach people, how to get good at the movement and the defense, and then suddenly Beat Knuckle becomes better, right? When they learn where to apply it, but there's a base skill level to start using that Beat Knuckle, Uppercut's easier to teach, but at the same time, your Jackie's not going to do much if it's only relying on uppercut,
Unless you know the combos that are pretty goddamn powerful. Those combos hurt. The uppercut combo, it's hard, and they're like different for every character, I think, or close to that.
Yeah. Well, in the case of Eileen, it's her elbows are complexity. Right. So at the intermediate level, you're spending a lot of time understanding why her elbows are really good, actually. But the variety of them, but they're tools. It's like Leon, they're utility, right? The strength in them is kind of situational, to a degree, and not overusing them, But they're really good moves.
You mean her cancels, or do you mean elbow?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about her uppercuts and her. If we're talking about Eileen again.
So here's the thing about her uppercut. Yeah. Her uppercut is actually hot garbage doo-doo butter.
Yes.
Now I'll tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why.
Okay.
If you evade it from almost any situation, she's punishable on hit.
Right.
Like with a 2P.
Yes.
Unless I follow up with the next move, which you could decide to double evade if you want, and then it's maybe not want to do that.
Yeah.
The other thing that's just like the first thing that makes it bad.
Yeah.
But here's the second thing that makes it shit.
There's so much stuff that beats punches.
Zero range, like zero.
Yeah, has zero range.
That shit.
Well, and there's tons of stuff.
Point blank.
There's tons of stuff that Parry deal with punches in this game, But it's an interesting design because that's what opens up the kicks, right? like all this stuff that deals with punches.
I guess so.
The
wish it wasn't so short range though. It's a 15 frame move. It's like her next slowest move slower move after her doing an elbow. Like the next choice would be that 3P, and it has really good. It's not that bad in the context of her offensive tool set. No, it's not.
No.
It's just.
It's the utility, yeah.
You can't lean on that move too hard.
Right.
Because it only works from point blank. It's so fucking rewarding, though.
It is.
And I love it. But it's like, I just wish it didn't miss people backdashing so easily.
Yeah. No, Nero summed it up also the same, like what we're saying about the risk reward. He says, like, yeah, she's really good at attacking, but she makes one mistake and it's like 50% of her life. So it's like, like, geez, it's like, that's what we're saying, like they went a little too hard on it, right? So it's like
right. Just a hair. Just a hair.
But that is the definition of the monkey style.
For doing, a read, I'd rather be able to do that to the opponent a little bit better. But again, I on some level understand it because she really is annoying. Yep. Like she can lock a motherfucker down.
Yep.
And almost kill you. without giving you a chance to do anything.
It's like we'll just joke and say there's a reason that the sumo beat the monkey style in Bloodsport. No, I'm just kidding, but you know, but
Yeah.
the monkey style that like
Right.
she really epitomizes the monkey style so well.
I'm gonna end my stream
Yep.
and
Me too.
raid you. Most people are on your side anyway, so this is more so for my YouTube.
Okay. I can't wait to
And
watch
I'm
the
gonna make some
YouTube.
dinner that I need to eat.
Yep.
Make some dumplings.
And don't forget, everybody, crouch backdash is the worst movement option in the game. It has its uses. I like using it because I like narrowly hitting people with Leon's normal hit launcher. And sometimes I like messing with their sense of spacing if I think they're gonna go if they're space precise. But it is very high risk. You get counter hit just like a backdash. You get move back. Your crouching is not so great like in this context, and you cannot use it you can't use it the same way as a fuzzy guard. It doesn't work that way. So it's really annoying too. Like you would think you could. You would think you could use it, at like a -3. No, So it's like.
So there are places where crouch backdash is useful. It's just not where backdash would be useful.
Yes.
They're for different things.
Yeah.
So like if you're up close or anywhere within their 3K range, do not, for the love of God, crouch backdash them. You're going to die.
Yeah.
But once you're outside of that range, it's super useful because a lot of longer range moves are either low or high.
Yeah.
Very few of them are going to be mid. So if you're just like kind of spacing a motherfucker out, crouch backdash is a great move.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're super confident that they're not going to use a mid or a low or that staggering catching move, then it's useful because you can duck a high and you're still like close enough and far enough away so that if they didn't do the high, you can then backdash, evade, cancel, and you're going to be out of crouch dash. You're going to be out of 3K range. So like it's just you have to use it properly if you're going to.
You have to use
But
it very properly. You got to have some idea that the opponent's using a close range attack. So like if they're playing super safe, they tend to do that, right? If a lot of times, like I might sucker somebody into, or I might box somebody, knowing that that's conditioning them to just finally go, okay, I'm gonna box too, and then I'm like, here's the backdash, or here's the crouch backdash, But usually the backdash is better, yeah.
You can rewatch you can watch the archive.
You can watch the YouTube. I'm gonna let you have dinner. I'm gonna have dinner too because I got family.
I gotta eat.
And I've got a special guest. Everyone knows who it is, but I got a special guest arriving, so I'll catch you all later. But this was a wonderful time. Thanks so much, Tricky.
Yes, good games. So we're not doing this next week, right? Because you're gonna be away.
No. Next week. Next week I'm okay for Tuesday if you're available. So,
and next week we continue. See you next week. Bye, everybody.
See you next stream. Yep, and Crazy Drunk, All right, see you all. Cheers. Let me see. Is there anyone doing Virtua Fighter? Do we have anybody doing Virtua Fighter? Let's go to Stream Manager. And Nero, thank you so much. I had a wonderful time having you in the chat. Okay, last question I'll answer. I have not spoken to Adam recently. I did speak to him maybe 3 months ago, and he was doing great. Good to see you, Jimmy. So Adam seems to be doing great, but it sounded like he was really busy with work. Like really, really busy with work. I think, I appreciate his wife giving us more Adam time in VF in the first half of this year and the last half of last year. But I think Adam has been so busy at work. When I talked to him, that's pretty much it. But there were some hints of signs that maybe the VF itch might come again. But I think right now I think it is a good time for him to take the break, and hopefully he's ready for Toya Cup. I want him to come to Toya Cup. And I think that would be his one big motivation for VF would be Super Toya Cup. So everybody can go harass Adam and tell him, hey, we want to see you in New York. Yeah. So I think he would still do the side tournament in VF and then go for Beat Tribe Cup, right? Like do the side tournament and aim for Beat Tribe Cup. So if that would be amazing if we can send the USA team to Beat Tribe Cup. You know, we're cheering on Crazy Drunk to be on Team USA again and leading Team USA again to like, because Crazy Drunk almost got like a big win for Team USA in 2020. But yeah. I don't know when they're gonna do Beat Tribe Cup, but last year they did it about a month after Evo. The problem was they announced it during Evo, so they like gave everybody a 1 month notice, which was weird. But Beat Tribe Cup's gonna be amazing. Evo Japan's gonna be amazing too. You know, Tetsuka Yamada started it. We have to see how the Japanese feel about paying to go into a tournament, but I really think it's worth it. And side tournament is fine, you know. But yeah, but we're getting ready for Nero Cup. Super Choya Nero Cup, you know, we gotta fight the defending champion, you know. The King of New York is from Italy, so, you know, right now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but because of the registration, I don't think Evo Japan will have the problem of 2024 won't have the problem 2023 had. I think because they are charging for registration, you're gonna have most people that register are gonna go. Just maybe less than 10% that can't, you know. But whenever you have a free to enter tournament, there's a lot of people that won't show. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, everyone, have a good one. Let's see who we can raid. Is anyone playing Virtua Fighter? Virtua Kazama is on doing. I would do Virtua Kazama, but let me see if we've got Virtua Fighter first. All right, we're gonna raid Virtua Kazama. He's good, man. Always supporting us, always a part of us. So everyone, say hi to Virtua Kazama for me, and enjoy Like a Dragon. Awesome. Looks like everybody's getting ready to go there. Sweet. Thank you all so much.